I'm Jordan Carlos, and it's time for
Can we talk about this?
It is physically impossible for me to get happy.
16 Candles has it all. A star-making performance by Molly Ringwald, a teen romance that still finds the feels to this day, but also some problematic ideas about race and consent.
Hey!
Here to unpack a problematic classic, Margaret Cho. Margaret, welcome to the show. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
What was your first interaction with the movie?
I saw it in the theater with friends, other Asian girls. I was amazed at the way white people act. You can have a party and destroy your house. I was just amazed that you wouldn't get sent to Korea, because that's what would happen to kids who would have parties or sell their underwear, is they would get forced to live in Korea and go to school for the rest of their lives.
What's happening, hot stuff?
We have the stereotypical version of a young Asian male in Gedde Watanabe.
He, took a lot of heat for this role.
How fine is the line between broad comedy and insulting?
Gedde Watanabe does a solid performance in the film. So it was actually really exciting to see an Asian face in the movie. But there's a lot of things in the movie that were uncomfortable. But back then, this was genius comedy.
Oh, no more Yankee, my wanky.
I was kind of like, that's not right, but it's also all we had. Like, this is before K-pop.
It's hard to think of things before K-pop.
At that time, we just had never seen Asian characters. But it's offensive in ways that people weren't making fun of Asians like that yet.
Can you explain exactly what you mean there?
Long Duk Dong is very demonstrative of his Asianness and foreignness, yet at the same time, he's totally living the ideal. He's not a model minority. He's getting drunk. He's sexual. But that in itself is kind of a laughable point from the point of view of the film. That's why it's funny, because, this couldn't possibly happen.
There's no way an Asian man could be this sexually potent.
That's why they didn't understand that they were being racist when they were making it.
So where do you see us now?
We have been so invisible for so long, and we have to get away from that and really be able to tell our own stories, which is starting, which I think is really valuable. So, I'm hopeful.
Margaret Cho, can you just give a TED Talk on all this? I mean,
Let's talk about Caroline and Ted. What do you think of that ending?
This is kind of like a booster for toxic masculinity as it exists now. There's no consequences for all the bad behavior. And there's quite a lot of bad behavior.
I think a lot of it is passed off as a joke too. And a lot of it is hallmark for John Hughes.
You're kind of rooting for Anthony Macahall's character, to have sex with the prom queen. It's the framing of giving up this sort of sexual autonomy as being a comedy point.
I told you dudes I was hot. Hot, Ted, you're a legend.
She doesn't even remember the act, but she feels as though she had a good time.
That's not a good lesson to teach men. And also, women are not to be traded and used like their garbage pail kid cards or whatever they're trading. They're not pawns.
So on the John Hughes spectrum, right, do you see this film as having any, positive themes?
16 Candles had some of the same themes about caste and class and how we're really just all human beings underneath, and that our idea of a projection of somebody else, actually, there's a person behind that projection.
Professor Margaret Cho, may I watch another movie with you sometime?
I would love that.
I'm Jordan Carlos, and we'll see you next time on Can We Talk About This? Enjoy the movie.